Hi Sophia, thank you for stopping by. So, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant, guys. I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, it's true. It's true. I am pregnant. This is the would-be baby right over here. Today's Friday, the 24th of July. I found out about this on Tuesday, the 21st of July. So basically I've known about this for about 3 days. I'm currently, when I went to the hospital, I was 5 weeks, 4 days. I was 5 weeks, 4 days pregnant. The moment I actually confirmed, because this the ultrasound actually confirmed everything. The moment I actually confirmed it, I don't know, guys. Like, it was okay. First of all, let me tell you, I was such an extra person that when I came from the hospital, all of a sudden I had cravings and I wanted to go. And I went to Sanford, the one in town. I went to Sanford, kukula zile chipo. Zile chipos are Sanford. So I get there and the upstairs section was closed. And then there's so many people in the lower section. I think they were definitely cleaning the upper side. So they have very few stools because of social distancing. So I get my fries and sausage and I ask one of the guys cleaning, I'm like, akuna mali penye naeza kaa. So the guy's like, because now they're having very few sitting whatevers, I'll just have to eat while standing. And I was like, hey, excuse me, mini mama wa mimba, mi siezi simama. I'm like, mini mama wa mimba, mi siezi simama. Nakwambia, they opened the upstairs section for me. Whoever was cleaning it had to do it very quickly so that they could open so that I could go upstairs and go sit. Then after that, I took a matatu back home. I took a mat back home, and then najua zile vile matatu vile nenda kusimama. Vile matatu simama, then watu washuke. So I was the last one to get out. And then, you know, when you're the last one, the matatu is sort of inasonga pole pole, like you can jump off. Hey, niko na tu matatu inaanza kusonga. Niko makanga, simamisheni. Mi siezi ruka, mi ni mama wa mimba. Yani, nobody asked me. No one was asking me, but I was announcing to everyone, vile mi ni mama wa mimba. Like, I think seriously, I'm definitely the dramatic type. You know, like those pregnant women they just cause drama for nothing. But then what to do kuachia because they're like, uni madhe wa mimba chana nae. I am definitely the dramatic type. And then 3 of my friends know about this. My family doesn't know. And then my friends are just as extra as me. They're like, lazima ufanye photo shoot. So that's what you saw at the beginning of the video. That's what you saw I was doing outside my house. I was taking some baby bump pictures. Because this will be the last time. This will be the last time, the first and the last time that I'm going to be pregnant. And actually, this is not a pregnancy video. This is actually an abortion video. So for people who know me, you already know I don't want to have any kids. It's something that I've been very vocal about, a discussion I've already even had with my parents. They already know I'm not going to have any kids. And when this happened, I was actually on a pill. I was actually taking precautions not to get pregnant. And one way or the other, because we tried to count the dates with the doctor, so it could be either yes or no, either I got pregnant on the pill or not on the pill, because it was such a small window. But I think I did get pregnant while I was on the pill. So on Tuesday evening, because I'd missed my period, I said, let me just take a pregnancy test just to rule out the pregnancy. I was 99% sure that I was not pregnant. I was like, it's impossible. I'm on a pill. How can I be pregnant? So I got 2 tests. I got a cheap one. I got both from my dawa. They came in, they delivered it. So I got this cheap one for like 100 bob. Then this one is like 350 or something. So I tested with the cheap one first. And then immediately it gave me the 2 lines. And I was like, yeah, this is a cheap, whatever. This is a cheap test. Let me test with this expensive one. I did it and voila, 2 lines. Wa, nilishiwa nguvu. Nilishiwa nguvu at that point. I was like, what's happening? What's like, this is not happening. This is not me. How, you know? And my first reaction, okay, this will not be a crying video. I promise you this will not be a crying video. But the first people that I thought about are my 4 friends. I have these 4 close friends of mine who've been trying for years to have kids. They're good people, they're healthy, they're in marriages, they're just not getting kids. And every time I talk to them, I'll be like encouraging them. I'm like, don't worry, it's going to happen. Don't give up. It's just a matter of time. And honestly, sometimes when I pray for myself, I also pray for them. I'm like, God, please remember these 4 girls. They really want kids. Like, wapati ataka tu ni mmoja, mpe ataka tu ni mmoja. You know, I always pray for them. So when I found out I was pregnant, knowing full well that I don't want this child, I cried, but not because of me. I cried for them. I was so angry. I was so angry at the universe, so angry at God, so angry at everyone. Because I was thinking, why me? Why me? I'm like, God, you know full well I don't want a child. Why would you give me a child when I have my friends that I've literally been praying for, that you work something for them? Mbona ni mi unanipatia na mistaki? While my friends are praying every day, some are now taking very expensive treatments for them to have kids. And now I'm the pregnant one. And for sure, I will not keep this child. I was like, I wish there was a way I could take this pregnancy and give it to one of them. And give it to one of them. By the way, before I continue, there's a small disclaimer I forgot to say. If you know you're pro-life, if you know you're a Jesus assistant, you know those holier than thou people that will quote the Bible at any point, if you know you're one of them, if you know you may be suffering infertility issues, or you're struggling to have kids, if you know you're just easily offended by things, please don't watch this video. I would advise that you stop at this point, because this video is going to be very raw, very candid. I'm going to show you everything. So I would advise that you really stop watching at this point. So anyway, when I confirmed that I was pregnant, my feelings, how I was feeling myself, I really felt disgusted with myself. I felt like there's this thing growing inside me, na nataka tu itoke. Like I just wanted it out of my body. I wanted it out. I want it out. I don't want it near me. I don't want it growing in me. I want it out. Just take it out. So, the first person I called was my doctor. I just called her and told her, I'm pregnant and I need the procedure done tomorrow morning. Like, it was that straightforward. She was even shocked. She was like, wow, Abby, you literally just found out. How can you make such a decision? And I was like, even before this baby was conceived, the decision was already made. And it's amazing how when I told her I need the procedure, she knew exactly what I was talking about. The reason why I'm really making this video, I'm not trying to glamorize abortions. I'm just trying to make you see what actually happens. And I looked online. For me, I was wishing that there was a video like this somewhere, where someone actually showed us, took us step by step on how an abortion is done, or what you go through emotionally or physically. So this is like a birth and delivery video. The only difference is there's no child in the end. So they took me, first of all, they took me through a counseling session. I think they counseled me for more than an hour, you know, because this is not something that you just wake up and do. I am lucky because I'm not emotionally attached at all to this fetus. I'm not emotionally attached because this is a baby that's unwanted. This is a baby that will not be loved. This is a baby that I will not have time for. I already know all this, and that's why I was taking all the necessary procedures to make sure that I don't fall pregnant. But the universe has its way, huh? It has its sense of humor. But anyway, they gave me these painkillers. They're called beta pain. They're apparently very, very strong. And actually the doctor said, you need to take this an hour before you start the abortion procedure. And I was like, wow, do you mean it's going to be that painful? He's like, yeah, it's going to be bad. I also got a leaflet telling me the good signs, what to expect, and the bad signs. So for example, moderate bleeding with passage of clots. It's going to be very clotty, that I should expect. I should expect shivering. I was told immediately I take the medication, I was going to feel very, very cold. I'm going to have cramping. There's going to be a lot of diarrhea and vomiting. So they said, like, you should just take a day off. And this is not something that is going to happen for a day. It will happen for about 3 days. So today's Friday. I think I'll be out of the woods by Sunday, but then after that it will just be moderate bleeding. Then they said these are very bad signs. If it's heavy bleeding or no bleeding at all, that's a bad sign. If you have high fever, like if you have very high fever, that's also a bad sign. Excessive cramping or abdominal pain, like if the pain is so much, that's also a bad sign. Excessive vomiting and diarrhea, if it's too much, that's also a bad sign. And then they said, so they said by Monday, because today is Friday, like I said, so they said if I don't experience any bleeding, then it means that the abortion did not work and I have to go back to hospital on Monday. If I experience any of these bad signs, I should call them immediately because it will mean that my life is in danger or something really terrible is happening. So right now it's 11:45. I'm supposed to take the medicine immediately at 12. The medicine is here. I am not going to show you which drug I was given because I know there's some teenager who's taking notes, and I don't want you to go looking for such medication. I want you, if the time comes, I want you to actually go get it professionally done. I don't want you to go do it over the counter. What I can say about it is it's not taken in the conventional way. I'm not gonna just pop it in and take some water. That's not how it's going to be done. I also won't tell you what I was told to do with this medication, but just know that it's not being done in the conventional way. I have all my pads are ready. I have my cloth pads. The moment I take the medication, I know I'm going to start bleeding. So I have all my cloth pads ready, and I'm really actually very happy that I switched to cloth pads or the grace pads early enough, because I used to really react to single-use pads. You know, like every time I'd wear these disposable ones, and it doesn't matter which brand I would take, I would always burn, I would always get infections. And remember, the doctor said an infection is the last thing that you want right now. So I'm really happy that I'm using cloth pads, because I know I'm guaranteed that there are no infections. I'm not risking any infections or any of that. So right now, how am I feeling? I'm scared. I'm scared, if I'm to be completely honest with you. I'm scared because I don't know what's gonna happen. Will I have a violent reaction? Will it not be violent? Will the abortion work? Will it not work? And don't get me wrong, I might be I'm alone in my house right now, but I have my friends are on call. They know that this is happening. They know it's going to happen at midday. One of them wanted to come and be here with me, but I told her no. I want to do this by myself. The doctor also knows it's about to happen, so she's on call. She told me I can call her anytime, day or night. If there's anything that I feel is wrong, or if I have any questions, I should call her. So I may be physically alone, but right now I feel so much love from my friends. Yeah, I feel loved. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm surrounded by my friends. I'm surrounded by people who love me, even though they're not physically with me, which is something that I chose. Actually, my friend even said, then come to my house and do it from my house. But I was like, let me just do it by myself. Yeah. I'm scared. Naogopa. Naogopa. I'll just be honest. Because I'm really afraid of pain. I'm just one of those people that doesn't do well with pain. I'm really afraid. I know so many of my friends who've had abortions before. One of my friends has actually had both. She's had, so what I'm having right now is called a medical abortion, where you take the pill for you to flush it out, but there's also another one called a surgical abortion. A surgical is the one where you now have to use machines to actually scrape everything out. My friend has done both, and she was like, Abby, you don't want surgical. You don't want surgical. A surgical procedure is recommended after 8 weeks. For me, I'm 5 weeks, so I'm still in the... Hey, I'm back. So it is currently 8:30. Yes, it's currently 8:30 at night. I have had the longest afternoon of my life. I never want to go through another abortion ever in my life. That's all I can say for now. So after the last time when I saw you, I took the pill. And then it took about 30 minutes for me to start cramping. The cramping at first was not so bad, but then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, it was the worst pain. Man, I can't describe this pain. And then it was like contractions, like they come in intervals. That's how they were coming. I bled, but not that much. I vomited as well, but not that much. Maybe this is what happens when women are experiencing contractions. Like, nimelala chini, I have a mat, I have a mat on my living room. Unalala chini, unasimama, unatembea kwa compound, unaimba, unalia. Na si ati kulia. The funny thing is, hauli machozi. That's the worst thing. Like, it's so much pain that tears are not coming out. It's that kind of pain. I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm wailing. I told myself that I would record the whole process. Yoni wongo. There's no way. Yani, I was in so much pain, I wasn't even thinking about ati recording. It was so bad. Because I was sitting on the toilet a lot during the beginning, there's blood coming out right now. Yeah, it just passed. So when I was sitting in the toilet, I felt like that's like a few hours later, I felt like a bubble. It felt like a bubble coming out of my vagina, but it was just a huge clot, like a huge clot. It even made a splash. You know, like when you take a shit, when you go for number 2, and then like the shit makes a splash in the water. That's how the blood was. It literally made a splash. That's how big it was. And okay, before that happened, I was in so much pain, but I was like, no, I won't call the doctor. I'll survive. Like this pain will pass. So what I did was, like I said, this is gonna be a very, very honest video. I took a joint, which I must say helped, though I am not sure if it helped. I don't know if it took the pain away, or I was so high that my focus was not on the pain. I'm not sure which happened, but during that period, maybe for like an hour or less, I felt no pain at all when I was high. But then after the high went down, uchungu yote ilirudi, uchungu yote, and that's when I went to the toilet, and then the clot came out. And at that point, because the doctor told me I need to take my next painkiller at 7, by then it's 4. I'm like, there's no way I'm surviving till 7, not in this pain. Actually, it was bad. I was wailing. I was rolling on the floor. I was walking in the compound. I was singing. I was crying, but there's no tears coming out. So I called her. I told her, I can't survive till 4. What can we do? Can I take another painkiller? Then she said, if it's very unbearable, she counted the hours that I'd taken the previous pill. Then she said, it's okay. I'll take 2 tablets. So I took 2 painkillers. And then after about maybe 10 minutes, nimelala. I slept. I think I just woke up like 2 hours ago. I slept. It was the deepest sleep I've had, I think, ever in my life. It was such a deep sleep. It was such good sleep. And then when I woke up, that's when I went to the bathroom. So now, right now I'm about to show you a soaked pad. So if you know you're not comfortable in seeing this, please forward like a few seconds ahead, because I'm about to show you the pad. So this is the pad that I was wearing. So you can see, I really love the fact that I did not stain. It did not stain, it did not leak. As you can see, like I even bled on the side, on the wings, but I still got protected. So this is what I have. But this is not all the blood, because like I said, most of it actually was done in the toilet. So this is like the remedial of the blood. A few moments ago, before I started this, I called the doctor just to update her on what's going on. And then she said she does not expect another big clot to come. So she thinks I'm out of the woods, sort of, you know. So she said the rest should be just more of spotting and light bleeding, but not as heavy. Also, she doesn't expect me to cramp this much, like as much as I did before. But then I should take the painkiller. I should take the painkiller at around, I can take 1 right now, then I can take the other one at around midnight. So the thing is, I should take the painkiller before the pain actually arrives. Because if you wait for it to happen, then it's really going to mess you up. Oh, and then the other information that I gave you before was wrong. I asked about the pill that I was given on Wednesday. Like I said, on Wednesday I was given a pill, then I was told the actual abortion will happen today. So the pill is to reduce progesterone in your system, and by reducing progesterone, it cuts blood supply to your uterus, so that today when I'm having the actual abortion, I don't overbleed, or I don't bleed too much, or I don't become anemic. So that's why the blood that will come out today will be like a normal period. Of course, it will be a bit heavier than a regular one, but at least there won't be excessive bleeding, or I won't have to rush to hospital. There won't be fainting or making you weak. So that was the reason why. So they're basically preparing my body for an abortion, and that's why I took that pill on that day. Right now, there's a bit of pain, a bit of cramping, but not so bad that I have to take medication for. I think if I just take water, I'll be fine. But in a few hours, if it gets worse, then I'll definitely have to take a pill. Emotionally, I feel okay. I don't feel bad in any way. I thank my friends who've been calling me almost the whole day, checking up on me, just seeing what's happening. Some still want to come to my house, and I'm like, no, I'm not seeing any guests for the rest of this weekend. So I'm happy for that, and I'm also happy that I have a community of my friends, and I also have a doctor on call for this. I will update you tomorrow on how I sleep, but as for now, I think the worst is over. I don't know, I've never done this before. But the doctor says that the worst should be over by now. So I'm just going by her word. So let's continue this conversation tomorrow. Hey, so it is Sunday. It is the 26th of July 2020. So this is exactly 2 days after my abortion. I didn't record anything yesterday because I just didn't. But I woke up feeling great. I felt great yesterday, but today I'm feeling even better. The pain has gone away 100%. I'm not feeling any pain. I'm not in any pain. In fact, yesterday when I got up, because I usually go for like dance classes, I talked to my doctor and I was like, yeah, I'm feeling good. Can I like go out and like do my stuff, you know, just go back to normal? And she was like, why? You need bed rest. You need serious bed rest. So she said, maybe physically or on the outside, I might seem like I'm okay, but internally, my body has gone through the worst stress it has probably gone through ever in my life. So she said I should just have bed rest, do not do anything for the next 2 days. So basically yesterday it was just chilling at home. So I'm watching Norseman on Netflix. Basically, that's all I've been doing. Plus, I really love this series. I've watched season 1 and 2 like twice over. So when I saw season 3, I was like, thank you, God. I have something to do for this weekend. Yesterday, the only thing that I noticed, a bit of cramping. It wasn't that bad. There was just a little bit of it, which the painkillers did a good job on that. Also, my lower spine was very sore. So the doctor said it's normal. So basically, I'm experiencing the same kind of symptoms that a woman who's actually given birth goes through, because my friend was telling me, yeah, when you give birth, also your spine is a bit painful. So I noticed that yesterday, but for today, really guys, I'm super. I'm 100%. I'm very happy. So I'm planning on talking to the doctor either tonight or tomorrow, just for her to let me know if I could go back to normal population, to normal people after this whole ordeal is over. The other thing as well, I'm about to show you a soaked pad. So if you know you don't want to see a pad, just forward it for a few seconds. The whole of yesterday, I actually only used these 2 pads. Yeah, no leakage at all. So these 2 pads, as you can see, I was using the very big pads because like I'm going to be soaking. Turns out the doctor was right, because she said with the medication that I was given on Wednesday, it will bring the bleeding to a normal period kind of bleeding. So I'm just bleeding normally right now. I'm only spotting. And also the doctor said probably for the next 10 days I will be spotting, so I should be wearing panty liners, which makes me very excited. This is what I'll be wearing. I'll be wearing these ones. These are panty liners, guys. How cute are these panty liners? So that's an exciting thing to look forward to. This is my favorite one, actually, the black one. The other thing that I'm experiencing since yesterday, my appetite has really been low. So there's been no appetite. But I've forced myself to have something to eat, because the whole day, it's around 4 right now when I'm recording this, and the whole day I've just been drinking water. I'm just not feeling hungry. So I've forced myself to have some food and actually feel very good after eating. And then the last thing that I'm experiencing right now is just my boobs are still very sore. They're still very sore. But then throughout this whole pregnancy, my boobs have been sore. I don't remember the last time when I didn't feel pain in my breasts. So I am really hoping that in the next 10 days or whatever, I guess it's just the hormones in my body. I don't know what's happening, but I'm hoping that in the next few days, my boobs will be back to normal. So in conclusion, or maybe this is not the conclusion, but what have I learned from this whole experience? What I can say for any young woman that's watching me right now, if you have never had an abortion in your life, avoid it. Avoid it as much as you can. An abortion is one of the worst, most traumatic experiences that you'll ever go through. And take it from me, like I'm speaking from experience. These are not stories. Usually I usually talk from somebody else's experience, but now I'm really talking from the experience that I've had the past 3 days. If you can, please avoid it. If you're having unsafe sex right now and you know you're not ready for a child, stop watching this video. Saizi, watch. Go look for any contraceptive that you think will work for you. Look for a doctor, let them advise you on either the pills or the IUDs or even condoms. Please try and keep as safe as you can, because there's nothing glamorous, there's nothing cute, there's nothing gangster about an abortion. And for me, I keep saying I'm lucky because I was not emotionally attached to this pregnancy at all. I wasn't thinking, ooh, what do I call him or her? Is it a boy or a girl? Next year, such a time, I'll be a mom. I was not attached at all. So I can imagine if you're young and you're still torn between, should I keep this pregnancy or not? Plus the pain of the actual abortion, you really have it tough, you know? So from the bottom of my heart, if you've never had an abortion before, please let it be the last thing. Like really, let it really be the last thing. Also, can you see this? That's an apple seed. I don't know if it will be able to focus or not, but this is an apple seed. And this apple seed represents the size of my pregnancy at 5 weeks. At 5 weeks, my pregnancy was the size of an apple seed. And and I was like, are you trying to tell me all this pain was caused by something that tiny? Like basically nothing was even formed. It was literally the size of an apple seed. That's how big a 5-week pregnancy is. And the amount of pain that I felt, I was like, there's no way that that's the size of that pregnancy. Okay, having put that aside, can we just talk about how expensive safe abortions are in this country? Something very serious has to be done, because I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I actually spent in total $18,500 to procure a safe abortion in this country. And I was thinking, what if you're some kid in high school? What if you're a kid in college? What if, yes, you're married, but you know, with COVID and everything, you've both lost your jobs? Where are you going to get $18,500 for an abortion? Abortions in this country are just too damn expensive. And I think personally, I really feel the only way to bring these prices down is we have to legalize abortion. Then from then on, more clinics will be operational, which makes the price to go lower for a safe abortion. Because right now I totally understand why women would go to Mugo or Irimo, or people would go to some dingy clinic somewhere, or why someone would go over the counter to go buy the abortion pills. It's because the safe abortion is too expensive. For me, honestly, I would not have afforded it if I didn't have an emergency fund. That's the only thing that saved me from this. I had some little money saved for my emergency fund, and that's the money that I took out. Another very important point that you need to really understand is making abortions illegal does not reduce the number of abortions. What it does is it increases the number of illegal abortions. So abortions will still be there, whether legal or not. It's still going to happen. So now we need to look, as a country, we need to start thinking, how can we then mitigate this situation? Because it's going to happen anyway. And especially in this year with quarantine and everything, I definitely know this 500,000 abortions happening will have doubled by the end of this year, going by the trend. Because the people that are getting pregnant are not just single women, are not just teenagers, even people in marriages are having abortions. Because say you have your 2 or 3 kids, you already know you can't afford another child. What happens then? You get an abortion. So abortions are not just, let's not look at abortions as these are things for teenagers or these are things for single women. These are also things in marriages. So let's not be hypocrites, because I know for sure I'm going to get comments of, the Bible says in Luke, the Bible says in Genesis, the Bible says in whatever. You know those Assistant Jesus. Yes, I'm talking to you, Madam Assistant Jesus. Those people who are always coming to you, telling you, this is what the Bible says, this is what the Quran says, this is what the Hindu religion says. Please, tafadhali, listen to me. I respect your religion 100%, whatever religion it is, whatever God you worship, I respect it 100%. But please also respect that I don't subscribe to your religion. Sawa? Mimi na hiyo religion yako, siko kwa hiyo religion yako. So stop imposing your religious beliefs or your cultural beliefs and putting them on me. I don't subscribe to them. I don't believe in them. So let me live my life. Tafadhali na kuomba. And having said that, anyone who will come to the comment section quoting the Bible or quoting the Quran or quoting whichever other religious or cultural thing, your comment will be deleted and you will be blocked. Simply because we can't start basing this argument on our religious beliefs. It is high time that we now sat down and looked at facts. What are the facts telling us? Yes, this is what the Quran is saying. Yes, this is what the Bible is saying. But what vitu kwa ground ziko aje, basically. So I'm not going to allow people bringing their own religious things into the abortion topic. Actually, I always dare people, and I'm also daring you right now, who's an anti-abortionist. I'm also daring you right now. Could you make your point without involving any religion? You don't involve the Bible, you don't involve Islam, you don't involve Hinduism. You just hit me with facts. I want you to hit me with facts, but do not bring any religious angle into this discussion. I dare you. Anyway, I have so much to say, but I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm gonna make a part 2 of this video and just offload everything else that I wanted to say. what can you do right now at home? As a woman, I would really love if we started talking about our stories. Let us tell people, I'm not saying let's normalize abortions. I'm not saying that. I'm also not saying you should be proud of abortions. I'm not saying that. But I'm also saying do not shame us for having abortions. We chose a different path. We chose not to keep a child for one reason or the other. We should not be ashamed. And for us to change these policies, we have to start speaking. If you're a woman listening to me right now, share your abortion story. I know maybe for some people, they're still very uncomfortable about talking about the topic, and that is fine. You could even talk in third person. You can say it happened to your friend, it happened to your colleague, it happened to someone that you know, if you're not very comfortable about talking about it. But for those who are courageous enough, for the people who are like me, who really think that the policies need to be changed, the only way that you can change the rules or the regulations in this country when it comes to abortions is if we have faces. We need to have faces of the actual people who are doing it. Because you keep saying 500,000 women in this country are having abortions, but who are they? Ni akina nani hao? So what I'm saying right now is you need to share your story. Share your story so that your friend can see it and get encouraged. Share your story so that your younger sister, your nieces, your colleagues can see it and get encouraged one way or the other. And finally, if you're a woman and fortunately or unfortunately, whichever way you choose to look at it, you find yourself in this situation where you're going through an abortion, it's gonna be okay. That's what I just want to tell you. I want to tell you it's going to be okay. It's going to be painful and it won't be a very pleasant experience. But if you have done it the safe way, if you've had a safe abortion, you're going to be just fine. Please call someone, let someone know that you're going through this. Don't go through this alone. Let someone be with you either physically or let someone be with you in spirit. Let someone be with you on call so that you don't feel very alone during this process. But it's going to be okay. I promise you it's going to be okay. You're going to come out of this stronger than before.